Welcome to the Nerds Cantos. Woo! Yeah,
Okay,
baby.
bro's excited. Okay. Fucking Pim over here. Can't wait. We're
I
talking about
cannot
Batman.
wait.
Yeah, we're talking about Batman. Uh,
Batman.
I, I, I'll be honest. I was, fuck, dude.
You
God
good?
damn.
We'll never have a good intro. We'll never
I
have a
don't
good
know what
intro.
I'm doing. I just threw my year one. Okay, just slammed into my keyboard. It's okay. It's okay. We're fine. We're fine. Yeah, that's right. Because I own all three of these physically. Fucking, I don't know why we're talking about Batman. I don't remember why I brought this to the wheel. Maybe it's just because I wanted to read these books again. But we're talking specifically about Batman Year One. By the way, I'm holding the books up physically, like anyone can see me. For even you can't. But we're talking about Year One. We're talking about Long Halloween, which is fucking fat. It's a big book, and then The Dark Knight Returns. Um, so yeah, I guess before we start, Stewie, had you have you read these before we did? Because I've read these before.
Um, I believe I've read Year One when I was very young, but that's not very it's not a very long book. So
No, it's not. So you had not read the other ones,
no.
but you were aware
I've
of
only-
them, right? I would
yeah,
assume.
I watched the Dark Knight Returns movie when I was a kid when it came out. That's
fair.
probably my only
I also
that's
watched that as a
definitely
kid.
my experience with it beforehand.
Fair enough. And Nolan, you had not read any of these, I believe.
Nope.
Yeah. Did you
Nor
know
have I
anything?
seen the movie. Nope.
Perfect. So we have a wonderful cast of people here. Differing opinions, you could say. But I do know. So I don't know why I decided we were going to read Batman, but I chose these three books because they are the most famous Batman comic books. And listen, if someone's in the comments and they want to argue with me, you're fucking wrong. Okay, that's it. That's how it is. You're fucking wrong. If you try to say any other book, I don't want to hear nothing about Grant Morrison. I don't want to hear nothing about the New 52. Maybe you could argue Absolute Batman. We're in the year fucking 2026. Maybe you could say Absolute Batman is the most famous Batman comic book because like everyone loves that book. But any other book, I'll spit in your face. Okay. Um, on top of being popular, these books are also really important for Batman. And so I think we'll get into the context of each of the books as we kind of run down the plot and our opinions on them. But I think we should start in the middle, aka Year One, because this came out in 1987, a year after Dark Knight Returns, which came out in 1986, which is kind of funny. I don't know. You guys have anything you want to say before we get into this?
It's really good.
Great. So, Stu, you got anything you want to say before we get into this?
No, I was just chuckling.
All right. So, Batman Year One is written by Frank Miller, with art by David Mazzucchelli, colors by Richmond Lewis, and lettering by Todd Klein. It's a similar team. I actually don't know who lettered or did the color for Born Again, but Daredevil Born Again was written by Frank Miller and drawn by David Mazzucchelli or Mazzucchelli. I don't know exactly how you pronounce that, but so this is kind of little territory we've been in before, I guess. I'm like failing today, guys. This is really bad. I've never Cantos this bad before. It's
Are you okay?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I'll be honest. Batman Year One, guys, is in my opinion the greatest Batman story ever told in the history of the world. So there we go. That's my take immediately.
I mean,
It's good. I just feel
I
like
can't
it's too
hard
short.
disagree. I can't hard disagree with that. I do like it a lot as well.
Too short, he says.
Yeah, I feel like it should have kept going. I feel like they were setting shit up.
Here's the thing,
I,
Nolan. Let me tell you something. what I have not explained to you yet. I'm trying to see if I can find the issue numbers. Because they are not. I have. So I obviously, as I mentioned, I have all of these physically right in front of me. Year One and Long Halloween are just kind of like the standard versions, but Dark Knight Returns is the 30th anniversary edition, which came out in 2016. And so I bought it in 2016. That tells you how. Yikes, guys! It's one of the first comics. Dark Knight Returns, one of the first things I bought with my own money in high school. I was like, I want to read this book because Batman v Superman was coming out. And everyone online was like, you have to read this comic book because Batman v Superman is like just this comic book. And I was like, okay, and that movie sucks. So
Just like the
They lied.
they did lie. Well, if you to be fair, if you watch the trailer, the suit that Ben Affleck Batman wears and the fight he has with Superman is just the thing from the end of Dark Knight Returns. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Point is, I don't know what issues. I think Year One starts on issue 404. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
Year One is issue 404, and it goes to 407. So here's what you got to understand, Nolan. DC did this thing called the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they decided to throw everything away and completely restart from scratch. And when they did that, Batman Year One was kind of their like, how do we, for Superman they did something. There's a book called Man of Steel, which if you go on Twitter, is a very divisive book because the guy who wrote it kind of sucks. But we're not talking about Man of Steel today. But so they wanted to do Man of Steel because Man of Steel sold really well. So they wanted to do that for Batman, and so that's what Year One is. So technically, it does continue if you read issue 408. There's also a Year Two and a Year Three. Those are not written by Frank Miller, and as such, much worse books. They're not bad, but they're not Frank Miller. And so maybe that would ease your complaints, but I think Year One is like a perfect 4 issues. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, that's all I need.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's really good. I don't disagree with you there.
Mm-hmm. He hates it, guys.
I
Yeah.
He
literally
hates
don't.
it. He hates it. What? So, Nolan, what we have you here? Because you're not going anywhere. What did you think of the art? Because when you read Born Again, you said you liked the art, but you were like, it's kind of old looking, and you weren't the biggest fan of it. So, considering
Born
it's the
Again?
same,
Daredevil. Oh no, I like the art in this one. I think I have matured as a comic reader since reading Born Again. So
okay. I think
I
you said
like
that in that video. I think we said you'd get over it.
yeah. I have definitely gotten over it.
Good. That's listen. I like to hear that. But this book, I mean, we could like sit here. I mean, I guess we could loosely describe the plot. Essentially, if for some reason you haven't read Batman Year One or watched the animated movie, which is fine, it's the origin of Batman. Every movie ever just does this, or Dark Knight Returns or Long Halloween. All the Batman movies do these 3 books because like no one reads anything else. But pretty standard. The Wayne, I was about to call them the Kents. That's the wrong character. The Waynes get fucking shot in an alleyway. Not immediately. I think it happens. It's like kind of drip fed throughout the book, but they get shot, and Bruce leaves, and then he comes back together.
It is the cover of the first issue.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like in it, but it's not. The point of this book is how he comes up with the idea of Batman, which I really like.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And also, it's a bit of a Jim Gordon Year One. It's mostly about Jim Gordon, to be honest.
And Catwoman too.
Catwoman's in here.
Good Catwoman content in there.
So I'm just looking at it, and I just think I have nothing but praise for this, as I mentioned. But just like the opening with Jim on the like subway, not the subway, but like the trains coming into Gotham, where he's like, this place fucking sucks. He says, trains, no way to come to Gotham. And then it cuts to Bruce in a plane. and he says, "I should have taken the train. I should be close. I should see the enemy." Like immediately, I'm like, "So we're reading peak, okay? Like we're
Yeah.
reading the greatest thing I've ever read in terms of a comic book." But then, I mean, we mentioned, I just think the art is so fucking good in this book. Like just the way everyone looks and their faces and the action is a ton of fun. And I also really like the coloring, especially in the first issue, with like when Bruce is getting stabbed by the by the fucking prostitutes. It's like all red because I guess there's a bunch of neon signs and stuff, and then it cuts to Gordon and he's just in like pitch black night. It's a beautiful looking book. But I'm trying to think of the best way to run this plot down. Essentially, it's Gordon and Batman fighting
Gangs.
corruption. Yeah, gangs and corruption. Gordon is dealing with the fact that the GCPD is, I actually think, the worst police force in any piece of fictional media I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, they're pretty fucking bad.
He's on the force for like a week, and then like they immediately try to haze him.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't just try,
And with
man.
baseball bats.
Yeah,
bro,
they
fuck him up.
No, I say try because he doesn't like bend.
No, yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
bend.
No, he hits him with the "It's been a long time since I had to take out a Green Beret." Goes to his fucking house and takes him out, bro. It was crazy.
So I'm looking
Not
at
only
it.
does he go to his house and beat the shit out of him, he drags him out into the woods, tosses his gun further into the woods, and leaves him.
Yeah. This is year one. I mean, all of these books are like kind of super serious and kind of dark, but I think year one is the most like noir and like fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it. I was gonna say to what you just said, Nolan. The first time Gordon is on the force, he is assigned with Flass, his like partner, I guess. And Flass immediately just gets out of the car and starts beating the shit out of like a young black teenager. And according to Flass, he does it because he had a thing. He had a thing in his pocket, and it's a fucking hair comb. But Gordon says, for these books, I'm gonna read a lot because I like this. I like the writing. Gordon says, Flass has had Green Beret training. I can tell, and he knows how to use his size. I watch, and I don't do a damn thing. I memorize every move for future reference. And then you're like, oh, okay. And then, like you said, Nolan, he beats the shit out of him later. And he's like, it's been a long time. Gordon's goated. I love Gordon, but you know what? He does cheat on his wife. And we here at the Scrub Lords at Nerd Cantos, we do not condone cheating on your wife. Okay.
Minor, I want to say props. I guess I could say he does sort of almost redeem himself because he immediately confesses. And
he
his
does.
Partner that he cheats on her with switches counties or states, I guess.
Sarah. By the way, his wife is named Barbara, and they have a daughter named Barbara.
Amen.
Also,
Barbara Jr.
His name is Jim or James Gordon, and their son is named James Gordon Jr. We need to talk to the Gordon family about how to fucking name children, okay? I don't know who...
Traditionally, that's what they do.
Dude...
Old Junior, okay?
Junior I get, but never in my life have I seen a daughter named after the mother who's still alive. I've seen a daughter named after the mother if she's dead. I've seen that. But I've never seen a daughter named after a mother who is still alive.
You're right. I haven't seen the daughter thing.
The son?
I've seen a lot of the the son.
Maybe there's some patriarchy going on. That DC Comics is trying to dismantle that I don't know about. Okay, but the fact that both of their kids are juniors drives me insane. James Jr. also a serial killer in the future.
Yeah, that whole scenario where he got thrown off the bridge, that fucks him up for life.
Yeah, just so you know, Nolan.
Crazy work.
Yeah, he becomes a serial killer, and he actually fights Dick Grayson Batman, which I think is enjoyable. That's a good book for a future day. But
anyway,
ignoring later DC continuity, as we mentioned, by the end of the first issue, I think the first issue is such a tight, like, awesome first issue where by the end of it, Gordon has established himself on the GCPD because he beats the shit out of Flash, drags him in the snow naked, and then Batman, in the complete opposite direction, has been stabbed several times by hookers.
Gets arrested. He gets arrested.
He has to break out of the car, and then he's just bleeding out in his what he calls his father's study because he doesn't see it as his room, which is a fun little character moment. He's just sitting there bleeding out, and he has the little bell, and he's like, "Father, if I ring this, Alfred will come save me immediately. But I don't know. I think I should maybe die." And then a fucking bat crashes through the window, and he's like, "Yes, Father, I shall become a bat." And that's the origin of Batman. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. I have no notes, okay? I don't need anything else. It's a beautiful little origin. And then the book just immediately gets into Batman doing badass shit. And that's it for the rest of the next 3 issues. Just Batman being fucking awesome.
The GCPD start investigating him afterwards. Flash I think he gets his ass kicked at one point by Batman because he's trying to I think he gets paid off by a bunch of smugglers, mob smugglers, when Batman drops in and busts them. So he starts tweaking about how he's this monster in the middle of a meeting. Everyone's making fun of him. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. It's also like you said, Stewie, it's fun because you look at the narration is Flash being like, "So I was doing my job as a good cop, coming upon these smugglers and arresting them for selling drugs," and then you see in the actual art he's just taking money from that, they're just giving him money, and then Batman kicks the shit out of him, with batarangs, which he just has immediately. I guess Batman just immediately.
Yeah, he uses a lot of gadgets. He has
bro, he's got gizmos.
Gun. I think he has he uses the Sonic thing in the next issue.
Oh yeah, he has the thing that the movie likes, the Christopher Nolan movies use, the bat.
Yeah, he calls it a swarm of bats.
I was gonna say I don't want to call it a bat signal, but I guess it is technically a bat signal. We also get introduced. We meet Catwoman in the first issue, which Nolan you mentioned, but now we also get Carmine Falcone or Falcone. And you get the scene that everyone talks about from this comic book where Batman fucking blows his wall up and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, you have eaten Gotham's spirit, but your feast is over." And then he just fucking leaves. He doesn't even do anything to him. All the while, Gordon is getting closer and closer to cheating on his wife. That's what happens in issue 2, everybody. I don't know. And then issue 3 is the one where Batman is trapped in a building. It's the whole issue. He's in a building and he saves a cat.
That shit's awesome.
Oh, the saving the cat or being trapped in the building?
Both, bro.
No, I agree. You also get a peek here. I'm looking at it. Catwoman just has 1,000 fucking cats, which she also has in the most recent movie, which is very interesting to me. I don't know. Funny. That was a wild Catwoman right buzzer there. Noise, dude.
Yeah.
Love this. No, I mean, listen, that is classic Catwoman, but the Batman being trapped in this building, just the art. Okay, the art of him in this building breaking down pillars, and he gets shot I think once or twice as he calls the bats in.
He gets shot in the thigh and the hand, I think, or in the arm somewhere.
It is genuinely the coolest shit I have ever seen. And at this point, Gordon is investigating. He's investigating Bruce because he's like, "All right, I know who Batman is. I got it. It's Bruce Wayne. Come on." And you know what? He's right. Which I think is he's spot on immediately. And then Bruce is I think he pretends to be in, I don't want to say Iceland or something, but it's some icy place because he's in a skiing accident and he's not in the US, but he actually does go skiing to cover his bases, which I think is kind of shows how fucking rich he is, dude. Dude gets shot twice and immediately goes skiing absolutely nothing happened.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
He's a bit of a crazy person. Then we get the end of the book where the rest of the cops are kind of like sick of Gordon. Everyone is sick of Gordon, and so they do they put a hit out on him or specifically his family? I don't remember if it's like.
I think it's
not even a hit. It's just
his.
like,
No, it's his family. It's his family because they flip around and Batman comes in and
Yeah,
I don't know. He chases him. I don't know. It was something.
Well, I know.
Oh yeah, because he drives off and then he turns around in his car.
Yeah, like he's leaving. He gets called into work. Oh, real quick, I guess I should say, skipping over. This is the book where Catwoman disfigures Falcone, and like fucking just cuts his face up. While he's sleeping, which is very funny. And it also kind of shows that she's sort of interested. It doesn't tell you any. You don't actually get a lot about Catwoman. She's just kind of in the background doing.
No, she just sees
shit.
Batman like appear, and she's like, "I can do that," and then she does.
Yeah. Okay, so there is, and you were basically right. There is a hit on his family. The Roman is the one sent to. He'll be late. We'll talk about him in a minute. But he is sent to murder his family. Gordon like turns around. He does shoot Bruce because Bruce is on his bike in like a biker outfit. And Bruce has like I think it's like padded. It's a padded jacket, but he shoots Bruce off of his motorcycle, takes the motorcycle, and then Bruce like chases after him on an actual like a pedal bike. No helmet, which leads to like this crazy bridge fight, and the baby falls off the side of the bridge. Fucking Batman jumps after the baby and actually catches him, which is even crazier, by the way. He like genuinely catches the baby. And then Gordon sees his face, but he's like, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm blind. I think he's lying there. There's debate. People are like,
because he immediately goes, the sirens are here, you should go.
Yeah, I think he fully sees that it's Bruce Wayne, but it's like, well, you saved my child, so I will forever work for you. And then we get a little tease. Get a little Joker tease, which is, for another day. For another day and another time. I don't know. That's Batman Year One, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a 10 out of 10. Greatest,
it's really good.
Greatest Batman book ever. Stewie?
Yeah, it's very. I was gonna say it's pretty much the quintessential origin. I think. I don't think you can get much better than it.
No.
I mean, everyone's been copying it for God knows how long.
Yeah, so. I mean, this is the one that is in every movie. It's in every TV show. It's the Batman origin. He fights crime, and I guess he fights crime, and then the Long Halloween happens, and insane people start showing up. What do you guys think of the Long Halloween here?
I like it. There's one thing specifically that I really like about it, and it's like the mystery of who Holiday is. Because like you're sitting there the whole time going like, well, it's got to be like Harvey Dent, right? Because he's crazy motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And then at times they frame things for where like it could be Gordon as well. Like they both have such similar circumstances, staying out late on the holidays. There's like in Valentine's Day, there was a heart candy, like a heart box at the murder scene, and they both come home late with a heart box for their wife, and this shit like that keeps happening. And of course, there's a holiday twist at the end. But like, I really liked sitting there going like, is it fucking Gordon, bro? Like, what's going on?
Gordon
here?
would never, bro. Gordon would never. Okay, that's the GOAT right there. Now, Harvey Dent would and does. Now, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. There's 3 spoilers, I guess. There's 3 holiday killers.
There is.
Yeah, because Harvey does it once or twice. Gilda does it. Terrible name. I feel bad for her. And then, what's his name?
Alberto.
The good
Alberto,
kid.
yeah, the Falcone. But he only kills the coroner, right? I'm pretty sure, or
Yes, I
because
think
he's
he's the
faking
coroner.
it basically. He's not the holiday kid. That's what I'm like. So he's
Yeah, he fakes his own death and to pretend to be the holiday killer.
Yeah, which I agree with you, Nolan. I think this is a fantastic, like no, not less a noir kind of mystery, but it's just a good mystery.
Good
It's a
mystery.
good mystery.
Yeah.
I should have mentioned, by the way, written by Jeff Loeb, art by Tim Sale, colors by Gregory White, and letters by Richard Starkings and Comic Craft. So,
I personally prefer the art a lot more in the Long Halloween. Not the art wasn't bad in year one.
Whoa!
I just prefer.
You like the cartoony?
I do like it's very exaggerated.
Oh, it's so especially when we get to Joker in this
Joker.
book.
Oh my god!
Bro has
I
a
love
chin. Oh, I love it. I do love.
Did you guys read the noir version? I did.
Oh, the black and white? No, I did not. Mine is in my version that I own is in color.
I read the noir version. I really liked it. It plays with the shadows a lot. It's very good.
No, I will say it's not like. I mean, there's excellent use of color in this, but it's not like year one where I do think you're missed, because I think there is a noir version of year one, and for me, I feel like you're missing something in that. But in Long Halloween, I could see that. I could see that being pretty good. I will ask Stewie, whenever, so in the real or the original version, I should say, when you see the holiday killer killing somebody, it's all black and white except for the blood, which is red. And do they keep that in the noir version?
No, it's all black.
That's a shame, because I like these black and white sequences, and then I like that you only see blood red as like the only color. But no, everything else, I think that's valid, and we have the no blue on this Batman. No, I don't. Year one doesn't have blue Batman either, but his cape is kind of blue, but it's mostly shadowed. I don't know. All the villains are super colorful though, which is a lot of fun. Catwoman's like purple, which is what her '80s costume used to look like. Which is fun.
Bring back the purple Catwoman.
They should bring back the purple Catwoman.
I like it. I love it.
Come on, Matt Reeves.
Clock in.
Yeah.
You know what you must do.
Grounded Matt Reeves, bro.
Great, dude. Please bring it. But what's interesting about this, at least in my opinion, is so year one, as we mentioned, is like 1987, like the origin. You know, everyone steals from this one, but Long Halloween was 96, so it was, or 97, sorry, so it was 10 years later compared to year one. But everyone also steals from Long Halloween for some reason. Like, this is the only one that anyone, like the Dark Knight movie is just a version of the law. I mean, no holiday killer, obviously, but like the Two-Face stuff is from this book, as well as the big stack of money that gets burnt. That's just in Long Halloween. Yeah. And then we know that Matt Reeves' The Batman 2 has cast a Harvey Dent and a Gilda Dent, which will be the first time we see his wife, I think, in anything other than this comic book. So I guess that movie's also just doing the Long Halloween.
Hell yeah.
Which is cool, but I mean, that movie's not out yet, so I guess we can't judge it, but I think The Dark Knight is a great movie, obviously, but it's a missed opportunity because it doesn't have all the it's no Solomon Grundy, okay? Where's Solomon Grundy?
Dude, the Solomon Grundy thing, oh my god, I love that. Especially when Harvey goes down to him. Holy shit.
Oh, when Harvey goes down there and his Two-Face?
I love that, bro.
I actually think, so Long Halloween for me, I know that it is, you know, the greatest Batman mystery ever told, as the foreword in my version, written by Christopher Nolan, would say. and it's great. But I don't really like Batman in this. I just don't like his like I don't know. I don't like his vibes. You know, I don't like his dialogue that much. He doesn't have the right Batman voice for me. If that makes any sense.
I mean, I can see what you mean. I like it personally. I like how more clinical he is in this compared to your one.
Yeah,
you can tell he's a lot more experienced at this.
I think that's fair.
He's almost exasperated, I would say, throughout the book as it continues. There's like a certain degree of frustration he goes through while he's chasing after the Holiday Killer. Especially when the fucking Joker appears.
Well, I mean, the Joker just does some baffling shit in this book. Okay, the Joker is just a true force of insanity.
Horrifying, man.
But no, I was just gonna say on that, like, I think that's fair, Stewie. I think that's valid. For me, this is not my favorite kind of Batman, but I actually really like every other character in this. I think is great. Like all the villains, I think, or the super villains are a lot of fun. Especially Riddler. I'm a Riddler guy. I like seeing Riddler.
Alcoholic Riddler.
Oh, I like seeing Riddler just be a complete schmuck. When the Holiday Killer shoots the outline around him, and he's like, "When does a killer not kill?" As he's like clearly pissing his pants. Calendar Man is so scary in this.
Dude, some Silence of the Lambs shit down there.
It's clearly Silence of the Lambs, but I'm like, oh. There's an animated Long Halloween, which they did recently. It's like a 2-parter. And I think they change the Holiday Killer in that to, I think it's either Riddler or Calendar Man, which I don't like that they change who it is. But they do for some reason. But yeah, I'm like, I understand the idea, but Calendar Man's cool. That's what I'm trying to say. Calendar Man is a great, fun little villain in this, as well as Scarecrow. That first image you get of him when he's on horseback, and it's like the double page spread. You're like, oh, this guy's awesome. And then he like doesn't. The next page is Batman fucking tackling him.
He gets bodied.
It's not a real version of him, but Scarecrow doesn't really do a lot in this. But that's not really the point.
With that little fucking Mad Hatter, little cringe little thing.
Oh, the Mad Hatter, bro.
I like the little rhyme argument you have.
Yeah, it's that's why I'm like, I love the villains in this. There's that scene, I think it's in the last issue or maybe the second to last issue, but where they're all in Falcone's office is like basically a way of being like, get out of the way, old man. The days of crime, it's over. All right.
Mad Hatter has like the 5-foot-long blicky.
Yeah, it's like it's time for goofy shit. But I think the heart of this book, Harvey Dent. I fucking love Harvey Dent in this book. I'm like, what a good character who is kind of going insane. Like, I mean, he is a murderer. He is the Holiday Killer, so you're like, oh, okay, he's not really a good guy anymore. But I get it. That's why I'm like, I love him so much, because I'm like, you know what? I understand why you've completely lost faith in it. But the scene where he finally becomes Two-Face, like when he gets the acid in his face, is so crazy. Like it
was crazy.
I'll put it on the screen, but the panel of, I think it's Maroni, right? I'm pretty sure it's the panel of Maroni throwing acid at him.
Yeah.
And then the panel right beneath that is Falcone like blowing his birthday candles out because it's his birthday. I'm like, dude,
yes,
what a crazy good little I don't know, what a great sequence. And then he just immediately becomes Two-Face. It's just within a second he becomes an insane person. I feel like jumps out of his like hospital bed, and they're like, that's crazy, his face is in no way healed. And then he's like in the sewer fighting Solomon Grundy, and I'm like, dude, you gotta get out of there. You're gonna get infected, man. He doesn't. It's a superhero comic book. That never comes up, but that's what I was thinking about the whole time. And then Batman fucking stops him. That's how the book ends, you know. Harvey does kill Falcone.
Yeah, him and Gordon have a conversation where Gordon confronts him because he suspects Batman knew about Harvey being the holiday killer. And Batman's like, I didn't want to believe it. You can tell he's like genuinely fucking like that because he like reiterates, I won't believe it because he really does like Harvey. And then he shows up to interrogate I almost said Roman. Carmine. I guess he is the Roman. But weird.
Yeah, but they all have fun Italian mob names.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he shows up and Harvey's... Oh, you go.
Oh, sorry.
No,
you go. Finish that. No, you
I was
finish
mean,
it.
he shows up to interrogate Roman or whatever, and then Harvey fucking shot him.
Okay. Well, I like Sophia a lot.
Also, yeah.
She was... What a beast, bruh. What a beast.
I mean, she, I think, is a lot of fun. She's also a lot of fun in that Penguin TV show, where she's
She
like,
is very different character.
Yes. Same, I mean, like, same idea in the fact that she's also a criminal, but other than that...
And she's, like, the only one that gets shit done out of all of her siblings and, like, all that. Except her father, of course.
Well, yeah, because Carmine is goated, but... No, she, in this book, is massive. She's like Batman size. And
dude, Sophia Gigante Falcone.
Yeah, it's okay. Which is very fun. What's the sister's name? Do you remember Carmine's sister who, like...
the blonde chick?
Yeah, who's, like... sucks the whole time. She's just, like... She doesn't even like Carmine.
Does nothing.
Like, yeah. Well, her kid dies. That happens. Yeah, it's great, but no, then the book ends. I mean, it's kind of on like a bit of a sour note, where it's just like, okay, they caught Two-Face, but like, damn, their friend is gone forever, you know, because Gordon and Batman and Harvey were all kind of becoming homies. But then you get the book opens with Bruce saying, I believe in Gotham City, which is like the Harvey Dent fucking slogan. And then it ends with Gordon says, I believe in Gotham City. And then Bruce says, I believe in Batman. So kind of interesting that Bruce is maybe like, hey, you know what? This city fucking sucks, dude. It's like, this place blows, man. Oh, and then you get, Alberto and Calendar Man fucking trying to mug each other off at the end. They're trying to out-mug each other. Even
holiday
though
mugging.
I was gonna say, even though he's not the holiday killer, and then Harvey's just sitting in a padded cell in like a straitjacket thinking about his wife. And then the last thing is, I mean, the last page of the book is her saying, I believe in Harvey Dent, because she murdered a bunch of people for him.
Yeah, she's burning all the
evidence.
Wasn't expecting that.
She uses the holiday killer.
it's I mean, I think that it's the twist that for me makes the book. I think that's the most interesting thing about The Long Halloween, is that actually, like you said, Nolan, like the whole time you're like, okay, is it did Gordon snap? Did Harvey snap? And then when it's revealed to be Alberto, you're like, oh shit, like, oh, maybe it was already, you know. But then the end of the book is like, nah, none of them. I mean, technically it was two of those guys, but like, it's also her, which I think is a lot of fun. I hope they do that in the movie. In the up and coming The Batman 2. If they're gonna do Long Halloween, cool. I hope they cast
it's gonna be a little weird because they did kill Carmine in the first one.
They killed Carmine, but also I think Penguin kills Maroni.
He does.
But here's the thing.
And Roman. He kills Roman at the beginning.
Hear me out, guys. What if the Penguin splashes the acid in Harvey's face? Okay. All I'm saying is, give me another reason to wanna beat the shit out of Oz. All right, give me just add another little sprinkle on top. I fucking hate that guy. That show slaps.
God damn it, Vic.
That's such a good show. Okay, and I that's my theory. I hope the Penguin does it because he's in Batman 2. And like, why else is he in that movie? If you have Harvey Dent, he's gonna be taking down crime bosses, and the only crime boss we have is fucking Penguin. So I'm like, let's hit it up. All right, let Penguin splash him with the acid, and then we can do a whole Two-Face thing. I don't know. I'll be interested to see it. I'm sure they'll do Joker for movie 3, even though I'd rather not. But Two-Face is cool. I'll take another Two-Face.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be different now because they're not. I assume they're gonna follow a bit more closely than the Dark Knight trilogy did.
I hope. When he dies at the end of that, at the end of the first Dark Knight, or the Dark Knight, I should say, the second movie, which I think is a waste of Two-Face because I like him more than Joker, in that movie, which is a hot take, I know, but I don't like. I'm sick of Joker, guys. I'll be honest with you. I can't stand Joker anymore. I'm like, he's fucking everywhere.
Where's my Hush?
All right, no, we don't need no Hush. We don't need Hush ever. Okay, Hush can stay in the garbage can where he belongs. Only thing bro's got going for him is aura.
Fortnite skin.
Is he in Fortnite?
Is that not the spiky looking scary Batman guy? Oh no, that's the Batman who laughs. Never mind.
He's talking about the Batman who laughs should also stay in the trash can where he belongs. Okay, he is a fraud. No, Hush is a well, I guess it's kind of important. Jeff Loeb, writer of Long Halloween, wrote in the 2000s. I think it's like 2005 or something. He wrote Batman Hush, which is also one of those Batman stories that when you look up what Batman story should I read, Google tells you to read Batman Hush. I think Hush is not that good. The mystery of who Hush is and also the story itself. And so that's why I did not make us read Batman Hush, but he's like a guy and he kind of looks like the Invisible Man. He's got like a big leather jacket on, or a big, like, not leather jacket, but like big trench coat, and he wears bandages on his face. And they're actually writing a Hush 2 now as we speak. It's been delayed like 7 times, but as we're recording this video, Hush 2 is a thing that's happening. Apparently it's really bad. I don't know. I'm not reading it because I didn't like Hush 1, so that's all we have to say about Hush. We're done. We're not talking about Hush anymore. All right, we're gonna go talk about good shit. The Dark Knight Returns. Okay. One of the most important DC / just comic books in general, okay, which I've been hyping up to Nolan. So this book came out in 1986, and before 1986, Batman was a joke. All right, he was a loser on that stupid Adam West TV show. I actually like that TV show, but apparently that's how people viewed him in the 80s. I don't know. I wasn't around then. And then this book came out, and now Batman is Batman. That's according to every article and interview I looked up in the past like week. All of them say that it's all the same thing from different writers and different artists and different like heads of the comic book industry, where they're like, yeah, Batman, a fucking loser before 1986, and then this book came out and shit was different. Also, just in terms of comic books, there were serious comic books before 1986, obviously, but like there was nothing like this, and now everything is like this. Year One also, I know a year later, but these Year One and Dark Knight Returns are very important because comic books used to not do like story arcs. Like, I mean, there were story arcs, but it would just be it'd be like issue 50, we're fighting the Green Goblin today, and then it's like, what happens in issue 51? We're fighting Doc Ock again. I don't fucking know. But like after Year One and Dark Knight Returns, everyone started to do like 4-parters.
Maybe we keep a continuous story.
Yeah. And so they kind of evened out at around 6-parters. That's typically what you see nowadays because 6 issues fits in a single volume of a comic book, so you know, there's a budget reason or a capitalist reason for why we're stuck at like a 6 issue thing, but Dark Knight is 4. They are bigger issues, so I think it kind of evens out to around 6 or 7 issues. And I was looking stuff up, and Dark Knight real quick, written by Frank Miller, with art by Frank Miller, because he was an artist originally, with ink by Klaus Janson and colors by Lynn Varley and letters by John Costanza, all of which are on like peak display in this book, but we'll get into that. So this came out in 1986, came out February, okay, and I was like, man, what else came out in comic book wise in February of 1986? Let me tell you guys something. Daredevil Born Again also started in February.
Oh, dude, what a year.
Dude, if it was fucking February, I swear to God, if I was a wee little lad, fucking an 8-year-old in 1986, run into the comic book store with my fucking 2 cents or whatever, you know. I was looking into it. Dark Knight Returns cost $2.95. Which was expensive back then. They considered that a prestige expensive comic book. A prestige expensive comic book today is $7, and a normal comic book is $4. So that tells you something about the industry, and inflation. But if I was a wee little lad going to the comic book store, and it was like, yeah, this Frank Miller guy is not only reinventing Daredevil over there, but he's also completely reinventing Batman, my mind would have exploded. Okay, I would not be the wee little 8-year-old. I'd be a very different man. Because both of these books are fucked up. They are not nice books. But this is about an older Batman. I think everyone knows that. I think that's kind of the thing. Everyone knows.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's been gone for 10 years. That's how it opens up. He's been gone for
10 years. He is 50, by the way. I don't know if you guys caught that.
It's definitely by the last issue with his gray hair, wrinkles, and like hairline all the way down to his neck. Yeah.
But so
I caught on.
he is a 50-year-old that, according to Frank Miller, who was turning 30 when he wrote this book, and drew it, he drew Batman to look 60 because he thought that's what 50-year-olds look like. So
he definitely looks older than
He looks older than a normal, like the average 50-year-old, but I kind of like that because he did spend 20 years of his life fighting crime in Gotham
fucking his whole body up.
Yeah, I was seeing also that Frank Miller, my 30th anniversary edition has like a little interview with Frank Miller in it, which is where I was getting this information. But he mentions that he also tries to draw Bruce in this book with the look of a man who has had his face bashed in several times, so it's like pushed in a little bit. And I think I think he pulls that off. Somehow Gordon's alive though. Even though as a kid I never understood how Bruce looked this old, and then Gordon and Alfred were just fucking chilling. I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Alfred looks a little more like,
dude, Alfred looks
hollower, but
ancient.
Gordon literally looks like 5 years older. It's insane.
Yeah, Gordon. Well, I mean, yeah, he definitely looks like the same age. If you told me Gordon and Bruce were the same age, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Gordon also with Sarah in this book, which I think is interesting. So at some point, either Barbara dies and he remarries Sarah, or him and Barbara divorce and he gets with Sarah, which I think is fun. I see this as like so this came out before year 1, but I kind of see it as like a little sequel almost. You know, it's a little almost like a same kind of ideas, I think. I don't know if you guys feel that way about them, but I see them as being.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
Nolan, what do you think? Do you feel that vibe?
It's like
It's not like a sequel, you know.
Not really.
Damn. Okay, bro.
Like I think with year, I guess so. Yeah, more I'm thinking about it.
Well, because to explain a little further, the way I the way I feel. It's not even like I don't have any evidence. It's just like this is the way I feel about it. Is like first, obviously they are written by the same guy, and so Batman sounds the same and he thinks the same, which helps. But year one is like obviously it's the origin, and then this is like the end. It's like a re-origin of like they're both origins of Batman in my mind. Like obviously Dark Knight, he's been Batman. He's retired for 10 years, but he's becoming Batman again. So he has to like find that, which is what the whole first issue or the beginning of the first issue is about. Because he's like trying to kill himself here at the race, where he nearly kills himself, and he goes, "That would be a good death, but not good enough." And then he jumps out of the flaming wreck of a car he's in.
This utterly scared. Bros, I've been trying.
Oh, he's a chiller, bro. He's in some like crazy cyberpunk ass like helmet, a racer helmet I've never seen before. It also kind of has like the like kind of wings on the back, almost like the bat ears, kind of, which is very interesting. But then immediately, and this is something I love. I just reread this one this morning, because I fucking love this book. But him and Gordon are like walking and chilling. And Gordon clearly knows he's Batman. I think it's like very clear that Gordon understands Bruce is Batman and he's retired and he's done and whatever. But as soon as Gordon leaves, Bruce like walks into Crime Alley, which is where his parents got killed, and immediately gets mugged. Within a second of walking into Crime Alley, the same spot his parents got shot. Oh, dude, me and Stu have been saying that for years. All right, it was slice and dice.
And like in the entire time, he's like tweaking, like reliving that moment in Crime Alley. He's like talking about Jojo. He doesn't mention him by name, but he's like he keeps referring to him as like him, and he's like reliving it.
He says, "Not him. He flinched when he pulled the trigger. He was slick and guilty over what he did." And then he goes on to talk about the mutant gang members that robbed him, and he says, These are his children, a pure breed." Nice bottle crack over there, Nolan.
That was a can crunch.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I don't know what I just said, dude. Something's wrong with me today, guys. This is what happens. This is what happens when I'm too excited to talk about something. We have to read things that I hate. Okay, this is what we have to do from now. I can't be excited.
Right. Clone Saga next video.
I'd kill myself. Never in a million years. But I want to say there's a great moment. This first issue is about Two-Face, but there's a very small Joker moment where Joker is like just staring out this window. Well, he does look crazy, but he has, I can't think of the word, it's just a completely still face.
Like a beyond Joker crazy, he looks absolutely deranged.
Absolutely. Sorry. No, he does look deranged, but he just a completely still face, no emotion. He has absolutely nothing going on. And then we get into like Two-Face stuff where they have healed Two-Face's face. And so now Harvey Dent can come. There's a lot of stuff with a psychiatrist in this. There's like a therapist guy, as well as a lot of news people. Nolan, what'd you think of the news balloons and the talking heads?
I love how a lot of the context it gives for like the politics going on.
Yeah, the 1980s
leading up
Reaganomics.
The Reaganomics going on and leading up to the Superman fucking things.
Yeah.
You know, we have to make them forget they're among giants. Like that shit. I really like the news stuff. At times it made my brain hurt because
there's a lot going on.
Binging it all.
Yeah, there's a lot of words in this. And Frank Miller does a thing. Sorry, you were saying something else?
I was saying, yeah, it's a lot.
He does a thing that I really enjoy with specifically a lot of the, I mean, he does it with Batman and stuff, but he does a lot with the news people where they don't have word bubbles most of the time. It's just like a TV with them in it, and then the words are above them and just on like a white background, which is very striking most of the time in a comic book. the art is covered in fucking nonsense. You know, we all love Ultimate Spider-Man here. We read Brian Michael Bendis' Spider-Man, where a good chunk of the page is just fucking words, you know? And so it's fun to see this, where it's like, no, here is this piece of art, and then above it, like almost like you're reading like a picture book or something, are the words you have to read, which I enjoy. But this fucking therapist guy is dumb as hell, bro. I swear to God.
I think he was setting them up. Like I think he was
Oh.
actually trying to get the bad guys out, because during the Joker crazy massacre, they say how the therapist is not among the dead. He gets away.
Okay.
So I really think he was a fucking psycho.
Never really thought of it that way. So what about you?
And well, I got one
I
more
was gonna
thing to
say you
say.
got
In
more,
the
yeah.
in the Penguin show, you know, Sophia's in Arkham and she has this relationship with the therapist. And is that not the same one?
I don't think so.
Is it not? Okay.
No.
Well,
But I
I don't know.
think they had the
Therapist,
similar
Arkham.
vibes. I think
Yeah.
similar vibes. I can get what
Yes.
you're saying, yeah. When you know Hugo Strange, famous Batman villain, is a therapist villain, so it's definitely a thing that is explored.
I wouldn't put it like above the therapist in on it. When I read it, I just assumed it was incompetence.
I just thought he was an idiot. That's what or just like a pure, not an idiot. It's not the right word. I thought he was ignorant. Cause I take him at face value, where he's like, I truly believe that anybody can be blah blah blah, you know, and whatever all this gobbledygook he's saying about Joker. They mentioned a statistic. Joker has killed over 600 people in this, and this therapist guy is like, we have fully fixed him. He's fully better. We don't worry about it. We completely fixed his brain. Which obviously he's wrong. I don't know. But so I always just kind of took him as like an ignorant.
The next line is, I'm going to kill everybody in this room.
Yeah. Shout out, by the way, the Joker movie, just doing that, but worse.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that movie. But
he also doesn't kill everybody in the room.
No, he like, you get what you fucking did.
He doesn't ride on Billy or whatever that thing's name is.
Billy, they call it. Yeah, he also doesn't have makeup or lipstick that is poison. He also doesn't do that either in that movie, but he's an insane person in this book. Joker is a crazy guy. This book, I think, is a great example of why it annoys me, specifically in online spaces, when people who don't read a lot of comic books try to say that Batman is a crazy person because he's just beating up mentally disabled guys, and I'm like, no, listen, the Joker, there's an exception, okay? Beat his ass, please. I can't. He's crazy. And not in a we need to help him way, in a Gotham needs the death penalty kind of way. That's what Joker is. I'm like, this is absurd. 600 people and he's just chilling in Arkham like a...
Yeah.
I don't know. Continuing on with the book, we get the moment Bruce like becomes Batman again. He has this moment where he goes down into the cave and he shaves his mustache without even thinking about it, and he's like reliving the moment. We don't see this in year one.
Completely nude.
No, completely naked.
He doesn't show it like much, but it's clear he is just completely stark nude.
Yeah.
Not the last time he's gonna be completely nude.
No, he's wearing underwear in that one. He's wearing underwear in that one. Okay, he's wearing underwear in that one.
I saw bare ass, bro.
He's wearing
that
underwear.
shit
He's wearing underwear.
Could get him canceled.
He's wearing underwear. I refuse to believe it. Not my goat. Okay, not my goat. He would never. But we see him fall down into the cave as a kid, which is not in year one. So it's a fun little completion of that little origin. And he gets attacked by the bats or whatever. I also like that the bat talks to him, but it's not like he's not insane. It's just like a deep person, like interpersonal dark reflection of himself trying to goad him into being Batman again. But he sees it as a bat, which I think is a lot of.
And the reason he stopped, it's also mentioned here. It says he's up because of Jason. We don't get the specifics, but Jason died.
Actually, if you read one of the sequels or the prequels, I should say.
God.
That Frank Miller. Nolan, you
mention
might know this. There are several. There are 3 sequels to this. There's Dark Knight Strikes Again from 2001. Now that book has a bit of history, has some stuff attached to it because the first issue of that book came out before 9/11, and the next 2 came out after 9/11 when Frank Miller.
Did they get racist?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Frank Miller lost his mind. Now I should say the first issue is not good. That book is weird. The art is something else. I don't know how to describe the way that book looks. Not in a good way. And so the first issue itself is already weird, but he got really racist in those last 2. And then there's a sequel in 2015 called The Master Race.
Excuse me?
Yeah. It's about evil Kryptonians. And then there's a sequel after that one called The Golden Child, I believe, which is about Carrie Kelly as Batwoman, and she has a really cool Batwoman suit. And so that's cool.
Oh, good.
That's all I can say about that. And then there's a prequel about how Jason dies in this alternate universe. Fun fact about that, I had to look this up. This book came out before Jason Todd actually died in the real universe. And Frank Miller has nothing to do with the fact that Jason Todd dies in the real universe. So I just think that's a little interesting that they ended up killing that poor boy anyways. Well, they killed him because people cheated, but doesn't really matter.
They have something against my god.
That's neither here nor there right now, but we continuing on, we get this, what I think is just a very cinematic, like it's kind of something you would see in a movie, which you don't see a lot in older comic books. But the scene where he finally becomes Batman again, where he's sitting on his couch or his little chair or whatever, and he puts the TV on and it immediately goes to like the Mark of Zorro, which is obviously the movie he watched with his parents before they got fucking shot. And he's just sitting there in pure horror watching this movie and like reliving the moment of his parents' death. And you see like in slow motion, it's done in like 12 panel grids. You just see Bruce being like pushed out of the way, and you see Joe Chill killing them, and you see the gun shooting, and you watch like the bullet casing fly out of the gun. And I'm like, dude, the pearls, this is where you see the pearls for, maybe, I don't want to say the first time, but it's definitely emphasized here. And it's a work of art, guys. I read this book and I'm like, yeah, I get it. That's all I have to say. I'm like, I get it.
No, it's amazing. I also love his like every time someone dies that like he can't save, he relives his dad grabbing his chest when he gets shot. Like there's several panels of that.
Yeah.
That shit's cool.
And it's because he's like, click, he's trying to get rid of Zorro, and it goes, click, 4 killed in a senseless attack on, click, subway deaths reach an all-time high, click, rape and mutilation. And he's like turning away, he's gritting his teeth. That's what I'm like, you didn't see this level of like cinematic stuff happening. Not to say that I love older comic books, and there's tons of cinematic moments in older comic books, but it's like, this is like, you could perfectly translate this to a movie in terms of editing, and it would work like flawlessly if you did it right. And I think that shows a level of craftsmanship that normally we don't talk about here on the Nerds Cantos. I'll tell you what, okay, most of the time we don't talk about books like this, but I've got things to say.
Yeah, we talk about Worm.
Right. I think I'm just like, it keeps going, but he's like running away from the TV, and he gets a couple phone calls. And so he gets a phone call about Harvey, because it's like Harvey thanking Bruce because Bruce like helped pay for the plastic surgery. He gets a call from Selena where she's just like, hey Bruce, I'm lonely, which is like, damn, that's crazy, bro. She fucking booty calling him at age 50. Like, y'all gotta lock this shit in. And then after he hangs up that voice message, I should say, he relives seeing the bat crash through his fucking window, and then he's Batman again. He's like, all right, there we go. But you don't see him for a minute, which I think is expertly done. You just see him tactically take criminals down in the most fucked up way imaginable. Like this guy who's just trying to assault a woman, and he just grabs her through a window and yanks him into it, and you're just like, oh, okay, Batman's doing crazy shit.
Not even like a regular window. It's like a door window. He just drives.
Dude, he breaks him. He breaks that man to get him through that door because he's like a bigger looking guy, and the lightning strikes, and you're like, oh, okay. Then this one I always thought was crazy. There's like the taxi where this dude and his girlfriend or something get in the taxi, and he just starts to like mutilate her in the back seat, and the taxi driver just doesn't do anything about it. And so Batman jumps on top of the taxi and just beats the shit out of this dude off screen, and then hands the taxi driver his money. And I'm like, dude, he didn't even like. Yeah. He's just I don't know. Crazy that he's just letting this woman get mutilated.
Well, he had a gun pulled on him.
I know he has a gun, so I it's Gotham. I get it, but I'm like, damn, this shit is crazy.
I mean, he doesn't like get the gun pointed at him at first. He gets bribed, and then he just completely overlooks it.
Yeah,
the gun only comes out when Bruce shows up.
I think he does.
Did it not? Okay.
Well,
I thought
so
he stuck it through the window.
He doesn't stick it through the window, but the taxi driver starts to go. He says, "Hey man, take it someplace else," and then the dude in the back hands him a wad of cash, and he goes, "Shut you hairy face and drive." And then the taxi driver goes, "Yeah, all right, just make it quick." Now I think that the taxi driver thought they were gonna have sex, and then she does start to get fucking mutilated in the back. But either way, interesting little scene. Dude, when I read this in 2016, I was like, man, the 80s was crazy. That's what I took from this. I was like, wow, New York in the 80s, a wild place to be. But then we get Carrie Kelly for, I don't think the first time, but it's like our actual introduction to her, and she's like with a friend going to the arcade, and the mutants show up and hit her with their classic slice and dice. Okay. They also say they say, come here, chicken legs, which is just like, dude, these people, I love these people. These mutants are monsters, but I love the way they talk. I can't lie to you guys. This is
he dusted him.
Slice and dice, man.
And then Bruce like throws like a whole like fist of batarangs into one of their arms. Picks up the other one and throws him into a sign, and he gets electrocuted like a fucking Street Fighter. Like
I was gonna say another scene here as you're describing it, Suey, where I'm like, cinematically so interesting looking, because you see Batman in the dark, he's in the shadows, and you see him grab the batarangs, and then you see the mutant go to stab Carrie in the dark, and then you see the onomatopoeia thunk 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 thunk, and then the lightning hits, and like you said, Suey, there's just 4 fucking batarangs in this dude's arm, and then it goes dark again. And it's like, what's going on? And the mutant goes, Spike, what'd he do? No, put me down. And then Batman throws him into the arcade sign. He doesn't die, but he should be dead. This is a Mortal Kombat like stage finisher.
They have like a weird like electric helmets on their head. That guy should be cooked.
He's cooked. Their helmets, by the way, I love their like Cyclops visors. That's the best way I could describe these things. They have Cyclops visors and then spikes on their head. But it's crazy. And then you get this then you cut to this car chase with a old grizzled GCPD guy with his young rookie, and the rookie is like, "Hey, do you see that thing?" And then the old officer's like, "What are you talking about?" Sees it's the Bat car, and he's like, "Holy shit!"
We're in for a show, buddy. Get some fucking popcorn.
Literally says, "We're in for a show, kid." Which I'm like, yeah, you are. But then we get
car in park. I'm pretty sure, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. Because he's like, we're gonna watch this. But then you get like, in my opinion, the best page in the whole of the 4 issues, where you finally see Batman, and he's in like the classic blue costume, and then he has
oh my god, yeah,
this beautiful, and I'm just gonna read this full thing. and maybe it'll be the last thing I read, but he says, "This should be agony. I should be a mass of aching muscle, broken, spent, unable to move. And were I an older man, I surely would. But I'm a man of 30, of 20 again. The rain on my chest is a baptism. I'm born again." Oh, bros. Bros, okay. I got nothing. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen, alright? I was saying that about year one, but this is it, actually. Okay, I lied earlier.
So I feel. This shit's my favorite.
I don't
it's
blame
so
you. This
goddamn
is
good.
I think I saw recently, Stewie, you might have seen it. I don't know, you might have seen it on Twitter, but there's a lot of I saw a lot of hubbub on Twitter the other month. I think it was like a month ago at this point. But people were like, this book's actually super overrated. And I'm like, I get if you read this book and you're like, it's not my cup of tea. I could get that. The art is, I love it, but the art is a little crazy looking compared to what you see nowadays. And the writing is insane. But like, man, I read this shit and I was like, yeah, I get it. I get why everyone does this and says you should read this and talks about only this comic book. I'm like, yeah, okay. And so I don't know if you guys have that same feeling, but that's how I'm like, yeah, okay. I get it.
Yeah. I definitely understand why everyone recommends this comic first. Even though it's a little bleak.
Oh yeah.
A little grimy compared to like pretty much like I want to say almost half of Batman's comics.
It's pretty fucking bleak. There's a little bit of hope
That's
at the
like
end.
great. Yeah, I mean there is hope at the end. We'll get to that in a few minutes, but oof. Nothing is right about this world as we'll learn as we continue.
Well, it's the 80s and Reagan is president. So that really tells you everything. Shout out, by the way, after this little car chase we were just talking about, when Bruce corners these guys, he breaks his hand through a wood floor and then goes, "Welcome to hell," and drags the dude into the ground. And I'm like, why? The aura, okay? He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't need to have aura like that. Oh, but then we see that it was Two-Face. A lot of these crimes that have been happening, Two-Face it's like Two-Face gang, his goons. And so Bruce is immediately like, all right, I gotta take Harvey down, I guess. I suppose that's what we're doing now. And then we cut back to Joker, and you see him watching the TV with this still staring, nothing emotion, zero emotion on his face. And then the newscaster is talking about how Batman has been spotted, and it's just a series of panels where Joker finally smiles again, and he calls him his darling, which he'll do later again. I really like the Joker in this book. I like I like that he is 100% gay for Batman.
Yes,
as he should be, in my opinion. Make no mistake. But I guess we'll talk about the Joker later. But Bruce takes down. He eventually takes down Harvey. He also gets shot in the chest, and you see that the yellow symbol on his stomach is armor. That's the first time that's ever been done. Because that's like now a forever thing in Batman, that his symbol is armor. So I think that's fun that this is the first time we see it. But he takes down Two-Face pretty easily. Two-Face tries to kill himself, and then Batman like tackles him through a window, beats him up a little bit, and then Two-Face is just tweaking about how, like, even though both sides of his face match, when he looks in the mirror, like, he just sees a demon or whatever. He just sees like a monster. And then Bruce looks at him and he sees the bat. And you're like, oh, okay. Bruce may be a little bit crazy, frankly. I mean, he might be a bit of a tweaker.
No, I definitely think he's certifiably a little insane.
Yeah. I mean, and Alfred says it a lot, but to be like a 50-year-old Batman, you have to be a crazy guy. You are not a normal person if you're 50 dressing up as a bat and beating up criminals. But that's issue 1. There's also like a Gordon subplot. Like, there's a lot of Gordon in this book, but I don't think it has the same oomph as the as the year one stuff, but
Yeah. You know, I appreciate him being a faithful husband.
the second time around.
Yeah, got it right here.
Listen, that's and I also appreciate that. I think that's also better. But then issue 2 we get It's Time for the Mutants, and then also the new Robin, Carrie Kelly Robin. I like Carrie Kelly a lot. I think she's fun in this book. I don't know.
Yeah, she's pretty fun.
Yeah, I agree.
There we go, guys. There's the nerd to this stamp of approval. Okay.
She's also kind of crazy for doing what she does.
Yeah,
Like buys a Robin suit like from the store or something, or she like buys a bunch of like Halloween stuff and makes it, and then she just starts fucking parkouring on her apartment building. Like
she puts like a stick of dynamite in some like piece of shit's pants.
It's a firecracker.
Oh, it's like a firecracker? It looks like
it
a
is
stick
not
of
dynamite.
It looks like a stick. Well, no, she doesn't kill him, but it's like it looks like a stick of dynamite.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. I thought it was a stick of dynamite at first, but then he just got knocked on his ass. I was worried for a second.
Being a little Robin. And then we see Batman.
Just fucking... Yeah, Bruce is like going through the most like horrifically imaginable. Like I think this is the part where he finds like the big machine gun.
Yeah, they're killing the baby.
Oh God, yeah.
They're trying to kill it. They're like, don't move, or I'll fucking shoot the baby. And Batman actually shoots the guy in the shoulder, and he says, "I believe you." As right after he shoots again, just the aura. I'm like, you don't have to do that, man. You're already cool enough. What are you? Oh my God!
The next scene, bro. After that.
Oh, with the general.
Well, no, when he takes the guy he shot up to the top of a building, and it's all black, and he's just saying shit to him, and the guy's tweaking. He's like, "What's on my face? What's on my fucking face?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll show you." And you see like fingers split, and he takes his hand off of the guy's face, and he's looking dead down into the city, shitting his pants.
Is that the scene? I'm trying to find it in my book. Is that the one where the guy goes, "I have rights"? Or is that? Oh no, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think that might be later.
Yeah, I have rights.
The one where the guy goes, "I have rights," and Batman hits him with the, "I know you do. I count them every night," or whatever, and you're just like, oh, okay. I love how insane he is. See what you're saying, something?
I said it's just the most insane thing. Like every time he like starts talking to the criminals, he's just fucking with them in the worst way.
There's a reason he uses fear, because frankly it works. If I saw Batman, even if I was a good guy, right? If I'm like not committing any crimes, but I saw him beat a criminal up, I think I would shit my pants. I actually do think I would shit my pants if I saw Batman in real life. I'd be like, no, okay, please stop. Please.
Especially the Batman, he's insanely like.
Welcome to hell. Crash. I'd be like, oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He also has a tank, and he's moving insane.
He's 50, but he's
like doing acrobatics.
He moves like a man of 20, guys. I mean, come on. But yeah, this is the introduction to the Bat Tank, which is something I like in this and nothing else. I'm thinking about the Christopher Nolan movies and then also the Arkham Knight video game. I don't like when the Batmobile looks like this. I do like it in this, though, because he is a crazy person. And so I think it makes total sense that he owns a tank and that according to the dialogue or the narration, Dick Grayson called it a Batmobile, which is like, okay, kid, sure. But he's using rubber bullets, so it's okay. We're good. It's fine. Rubber bullets.
Yeah, rubber bullets from machine guns are like the size for like a fucking teenager.
Listen, it's the Arkham Knight thing again, right? Where it's just like he beats the shit out of the mutants. Is the point? He actually loses. And then he has the thing you were talking about, Nolan, where he's kind of naked in the. He swear he's got underwear on though. I believe it. I believe it's all underwear. It's colored weirdly. Batman my goat would never be problematic with young women. But then he beats the mutant up because they like arrest him, and so he lets him get out so he can like beat the shit out of the mutant leader in front of the mutants. Real quick, I just want to shout out one of these mutants says, "Don't." He says, "Hope Rob, don't say balls nasty." And then the mutant with the T-shirt that says "My name is Rob" in the next panel says "Balls nasty." So that's funny. But Batman beats the shit out of the mutant leader in like a mud hole, and he goes, "You don't get it, boy. This isn't a mud hole. It's an operating table, and I'm a surgeon."
Peak.
Oh, it's awesome. And then that plot line is over, and we immediately open the next issue with Nazis. There's a Nazi woman with swastikas tattooed on her tits and her ass cheeks. Something to think about. I don't know. Nazis were crazy.
Kind of bizarre.
80s. You know, not they're crazy. But now Superman is introduced here. Also, by the way, the therapist, I'm looking at it, the therapist has a Hitler staff. I just want to make that known.
He does, bro.
I'm looking at that.
He wears like a Superman shirt too. He just has.
Which I do think is a commentary on this Superman. I think that's this Superman is a government tool. Okay, he is
washed.
He is fully washed. Basically, Superman is like Reagan's like fucking toy, essentially. He's like tells him to go make sure missiles don't hit a certain country or whatever, and you see that later.
Yeah, he just goes up and then like obliterates like 2 Soviet jets, and then just leaves.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, that's my job. But then we get the Joker, like morning show or not, or late night show thing where he kills a bunch of people. And then he goes to the carnival, which is, I mean, that's pretty standard Joker fare, I feel. But you get like an action scene where Carrie basically learns, I want to say she learns how to be Robin. Like, she kind of has to deal with her own villain while Batman goes off to fight Joker.
It's really cool.
It's a very fun action. She has to like save people on a roller coaster. It's very acrobatic, which is obviously what Robin is all about. So it's fun to see. But Batman immediately just starts maiming the Joker. Gets a batarang in his eye the second they see each other.
Yeah, I believe he, like when they jump in, he's like, "This is the last time. It can't happen."
Yes, Batman is prepared to murder the Joker, which you see later when they're finally scrapping and the fight's coming to an end. Batman's been shot like 3 times, and he snaps his neck, but not enough to kill him, just enough to leave him paralyzed forever. And people watch him do that. And the Joker kind of mentions like, "Oh, there's witnesses. They're going to think you're a murderer now." And then he's like, "And I'll finish the deal." And he spins his neck around and kills himself. All while laughing, by the way.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Peak Joker, as far as I'm concerned. I'm like, this should be what every Joker is like. I like the way he looks. I mean, he just looks like the Joker, I guess, but I like him snapping his neck. It's very fun. And then we get the last little thing here, the last little arc, which is all about Superman and the mutants. The mutant gang have now become the Batman gang, the Sons of Batman. And there's like a flood in Gotham and or not a flood, sorry. Superman, the Soviets launch a nuke, which Superman stops, but it like turns everything off, like all the electronics. So there's a bunch of riots. And then Batman...
Yeah, it also obliterates Superman, so he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, Superman's a little cooked.
Entire day, basically.
Yeah, he's got to like find the sun to heal himself. But then all these riots start happening, and the mutants are like, "We're gonna fucking take this city, and we're gonna do what Batman would want him to do." But they're kind of super violent. So Batman shows up, and he's like, "All right, motherfuckers, listen up. We're gonna do what actually Batman shit." And it's like the end of the Gordon stuff, where his apartment building is on fire, and he thinks Sarah's in there. She's not, but he sees like a woman fall out, and he's like, "I can't tell if her scream is Sarah's or not." He's like, "I don't know if that's what my wife sounds like screaming bloody murder, you know?" And that's like the end of the Gordon arc, is that it's not Sarah. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. That's good for you, Gordon. At the same time, we get the Superman thing where Superman gets like struck by a bolt of lightning and then is like in the sun and he finally heals. Which I do think is a cool moment, even though this Superman fucking sucks ass. It's still a fun little Superman moment. But then Green Arrow shows up. he's like, all right, Bruce, it's time for you to lock the fuck in. He's also missing an arm, which Superman ripped off, according to like the narration.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Superman said, I'm gonna cripple him. That'll make Oliver stop. And so it's basically hinted that Green Arrow is the only other superhero in this universe who like kept doing what they should be doing, aka fighting fascist freaks. And then Bruce is like, yeah, you're kind of a crazy guy, but we'll go along with it. And so they beat the shit out of Superman. And by they, I mean Batman. In this fucking awesome, sick as hell fight. I'm just like, it's tight. Batman hits him with a, you sold us out, Clark. You gave them the power that should have been ours, just like your parents taught you to. My parents taught me a different lesson. And then he beats the shit out of him. And then Batman dies. He has a heart attack because he's 50 and he's fighting fucking Superman. Which I think is fair. And then Alfred dies. Which makes me really sad. I get sad when Alfred dies. I can't.
Bro had a stroke.
Also blow up the Wayne Manor. And
He does blow up the Wayne,
like a second later.
Well, because Bruce is like done with he's done with his secret identity. It's like, it's over. So he's like, Alfred, blow the manor up. And then Alfred has a stroke, and as he's having a stroke, he says, how utterly proper, and then fucking dies on the steps of the Wayne Manor. And then we cut to the funeral, where Selina is like yelling at Clark, because Clark is at the funeral, and obviously he like murdered Batman. And then like the last little thing is Clark hears a heartbeat start, and Batman's alive, actually. And it's time for him to lock in and fight Ronald Reagan, guys.
Yeah.
Which is what the sequel's about. The sequel's actually about how Ronald Reagan is Brainiac, being controlled by Brainiac. Yeah, and Lex Luthor's there. Yeah, so that's. Oh, and then racism, but that's besides the point. We don't
Fascinating.
Talk about that. But
really
yeah, this
fascinating.
That's this is our Batman special. Okay, will we ever do another Batman special? Who's to say? I think it's safe to say we all think Dark Knight is like the best one. Or no?
Yeah. Easily for me.
Yeah.
I think the art falls off of the last few issues. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Personally, to me, I think it gets a little rougher.
I'm shaking my head over here, so they know I don't agree. Okay.
That's just my opinion.
That's fair. That's fair, but I disagree. But I get it. I get what you're saying. But no, I think Dark Knight is like easily. I mean, as I said at the start, I do think Year One is a peak ass book in my opinion. But I do think Dark Knight carries the gravitas that everyone says it does. And so I think it is a must read as far as I'm concerned. If you want to read Batman, you gotta read Dark Knight Returns. And then if you want to read more Batman, you have to read Year One and Long Halloween. But those can come second. You know, if you just want to read some Dark Knight Returns, I think that's, in my opinion, absolutely valid. That's what I have to say about Batman.
Peak man.
It is peak man. Batman is the greatest. Like, sometimes I don't like Batman, but he's the GOAT for a reason. But yeah, I don't know. You guys got anything else?
I really enjoyed it. I really, really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. That's about all we can say. We can glaze it all day. Okay, we can glaze it all day.
I could have kept reading quotes all day. Yeah. Okay, we had to cut ourselves off.
Well, there's a lot.
She says so much good shit in both Year One, Long Halloween, and Dark Knight Returns. There's a lot of fun quotes in all of these books, but I think we'll end this video. This video is getting a little long here, so we'll call it here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you 3 viewers for watching. You know how you are. You know who you are. And
the
how
goats.
You are,
thank you.
Yeah, actually, the goats. Yeah. And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.